other story here. Oh, Molly Seidel posted this on Instagram. Can we throw that up there? Captions: When your Bumble match challenges you to a race, and it's a screenshot of a conversation on the dating app Bumble where the person asks, "What do you do for work?" She responds, "I'm a pro marathon runner." The person responds, "So you think you could beat me in a race?" Winky face emoji. Then her response, "I sure effing hope so."
I mean, I look at this. He was trying to flirt. He was trying to be like, I think he was trying to like compliment her, like be fun, like challenge her. Clearly, I think this guy knows he can't beat her in a race. I think she took it the wrong way. I don't think she recognized that that was a winky face, that he was making a joke. Because then she
Well,
kind of was like,
she's making a joke too. She's making. I sure hope so. Like that's
but
a
then she's
joke.
saying unmatched, lose my number. She's upset with the joke. She didn't respond after
Yeah,
that. She didn't.
this has got to be. I can't imagine how many times this question is proposed to professional athletes. Sprints, distance, it doesn't matter. It's got to get to be pretty annoying, like the first time, because like, yeah, you think it's funny, but then I'm
That's
sure
true.
all the time, not just online, but I bet in real life too, this gets thrown around all the time. And I'm
Good
sure
point.
pro
It's like,
athletes,
sorry, continue.
no, I was just say pro athletes in any sport, it happens, but I think it probably happens more in running just because fewer people uh, recognize them. And everybody is like, well, I can run. You can beat me. And then there are all obviously also all these dudes who think that they could like run faster than the world record time than the women when they couldn't get even close. So I bet it gets really old really quickly.
That's true. But for this guy who was trying to flirt with Molly, for him, it was the first time he had a conversation with a runner, maybe. And so for him, it was like a fun joke that he thought, it's like, when you go for a run and someone screams, run, Forrest, run. And you're like, I've heard that
Yeah.
one before. But for that
Aren't you over
person, it
that?
was the first time they screamed it. I don't know. I think it would have been more funny
Yeah.
if he
Okay. But then
responded.
what if that person then comes up to you and says, do you want to go on a date with me? What would you say?
That's true. Mm.
You-
But also, what I think would be funnier if he responded like, "What's your mile time?" Because that's what everyone gets asked whenever they say "I run,"
yeah.
and then they ask you what
Yeah.
your mile
Yeah.
time is. It's like, "Well, I'm not
Mile
a
time.
miler.
Yeah.
Stop asking me mile time."
Yeah. Yeah. I think, yeah, yeah, he responds back with like a pacing chart or whatever. Like, all right, so that equates to what on the World Athletics conversion tables? I like that I sure effing hope so response. I think it's pretty funny because it's almost it's like sort of self deprecating to her too. Of like, well, I better be able to. I'm faster than 99% of the population, so. This random person, assuming this person is random and wasn't like, I don't know how much information you get on these things about who the person is beforehand, but assuming they didn't know much about running. I just think it's like a corny line, and it seems funny to like this person, but to the
I don't
person
know.
that
I'm
is
sympathetic.
receiving it,
He's
it's just
trying. See, see. Here's the thing. You got to
it's
think
not
about his
good. It's not a
intention.
good line. It's not a
But
good line.
his intention wasn't to be repetitive. His intention wasn't to be mean. His intention was to try to give her a smile. Now clearly it didn't work, but
Yeah,
you can at least
didn't work.
recognize that he was trying to make her smile. He wasn't trying to annoy her. And so clearly he failed, but like his intent wasn't a failure.
Yeah,
It's like when someone tells a
yeah,
bad joke, they're not trying to
yeah. It's a
offend you;
bad
they're trying
joke.
to make you laugh. So like,
Yeah,
you can't like hold it like, how dare you offend me? It's like, well, the person was actually trying to entertain you. He was trying to entertain her. It didn't work,
yeah. It didn't work.
but
Didn't work. Move
maybe
on.
he could be like, oops, like maybe not a rate. I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't
I
know.
don't know what
I
comes
guess
next.
flirting on text messages with strangers is hard anyway. So no matter what, it's going to be a
Yeah.
challenge.
Well, there is a point of just like, hey, and I get like he's trying to make a joke and she's making a joke here too, but it's like, hey, this is your profession. Do you think I could be better at it than you? Like it comes across as like a little strange, I think, especially because it's a
Yeah.
man women men women dynamic here, I think. So,
Yeah, I
which makes it
think
weird.
also, there's something interesting about someone's profession being a sport, right? That,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
obviously you wouldn't say that like I'm a doctor. Oh, you think I could do better heart surgery than you? No one would
yeah.
ever say that because being a
Do you think I
doctor
could do a
is
legal
not a
brief better
part
than
of
you?
being a doctor is not part of regular society. But sports are part of regular society. So when someone's full-time job is something that everyone does as a hobby,
Yeah, yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah.
it
I
feels
just
like you can be part of their job.
I'm just saying this goes pretty much one way because I doubt if it was the other way around and they were messaging a guy and it's like, "I'm a pro marathon runner." I don't think the woman would say, "So do you think you beat me in a race?" You know? I think that so, like, they hear this all the time is what I'm guessing. Just as you're saying the "Run, Forest, Run" thing somehow has never died off in how old's that movie? 25 years ago, and, like, it's still being yelled at people. I think that "So you can beat me in a race." I bet, I bet every sport gets this. Tennis, basketball, doesn't matter. Like, once they find out what you do, I bet people think that that's, like, a clever way to be like, start a conversation. But I'm
I
assuming
also
it's
think
annoying.
about this like he asked clearly he didn't know who Molly was because he asked what she did for work. Because and
Yeah.
I mean he could have easily Googled her name and clearly he would have seen like, oh, this is an Olympian.
Mhm.
But when he got the information I'm a pro marathon runner, he could have. Do you think he was thinking about, oh, I should recognize I'm texting an Olympian, an Olympic
Well,
medalist?
okay, and that's the thing too. There's a pro marathon. A lot of people can claim they're a pro marathon runner. She's a freaking bronze medalist from the Olympics. Like, she could
Oh, it's only
Oh,
first name. A
Colt,
photo.
can the audience
Yeah.
Colt, can the audience hear you?
They can now. It's only first name on
Okay.
Bumble, so potentially he didn't know who she was at all. Just
See,
Molly.
But any
there you
Molly.
go. Yeah. Any Molly. So he had no idea, I guess, with the photo, but that's a lot of work. Like, you don't assume, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't been on this app. It sounds like Colt has. Colt, do you assume you're corresponding with an Olympic athlete when you're on these apps?
I have never corresponded with an
Okay.
Olympic athlete on Bumble.
Gotcha. Okay. So, yeah, person probably sees pro marathon runner. They have no concept of how fast that is. But yeah, she could have been like, I'm the bronze. Yeah, she could have totally done a power move here. And just
Yeah,
instead of, "So you think you could beat me in a race," she sends a picture back of, like, the Olympic podium, and it's like, "Are you one of these 2 people?"
also, I kind of respect that she called herself a pro marathon runner and not like I'm a Olympian runner or like I'm an
Yeah.
Olympian type thing. Like she didn't take
Maybe she didn't
the
wanna give away too much info.
yeah. She was like I pretend I'm just a regular runner who's I'm just a professional runner. I'm not
Mhm.
what potentially going to become the greatest American of all time.
Yeah.
We'll say that for the
Yeah.
third date. I'll let you know that
Yeah.
you know 6 years from now
Just
you're going to be on a lot of like if this thing goes well you're going to be in a lot
yeah.
of photos at race endings at the Boston and Chicago and all these marathons hugging me after I
Yeah.
win. Like he was in for a world of like fame if this thing went well because she's going to go
Just
on
send,
to
like, a
like
goat emoji.
win a bunch of big races.
Alright, last question for Cole. You don't have to answer this, Cole, if you don't want to, but, like, have you ever found out that someone you're messaging with was famous in any field?
Ooh. Uh Not really. I mean, like public figures, I guess. There's been like this person was on a radio show and like just at that point, but no one like actually famous.
Okay. Did that change how you interacted with them on the
No.
chat?
I'm on a radio show, Kevin.
No, but I'm saying, like, did you, like, look up information about
No,
them, or did you
that's
find it out
creepy.
afterwards?
Unless they
Don't
like
do that. Okay.
link to social accounts, like I think that's probably something you probably shouldn't do. But that's just
Do
me.
you find that most people downplay their occupation, or do they when they're famous, or do they talk it up?
Oh, I won't say I have had a lot of famous encounters on dating sites, but
When you were
us-
messaging Scarlett Johansson, what
yeah,
was like, did she describe herself?
she was really
I don't
chill
know what.
about it. Actually, yeah, she kind
Okay.
of didn't bring it up.
She said, "Lose my number."
Yeah.